Welcome back to Better Than Fiction with Janette and Eden. August is over. September, here we come.
I had a great month
You
of
did good,
total reading.
Yeah.
I booked through and not only my numbers and my TBR list, but I am booking through the Booker long list.
Yeah, yeah.
So my number book for TBR is Scattered All Over the Earth by Yoko Tawada, a Japanese book with dystopia, and it's climate dystopia, so it really looks at what happens when the countries disappear. Water has risen and countries like Japan are gone. And if you are a person with no longer has a country, what happens to your language? What happens to the evolution of language all over the world? So you really look at how people treat people, good and bad, as a rarity or as someone who doesn't belong. You do take a look at everything. I don't feel this book would be for everyone. Mm-hmm. It was not an easy read, and I would not count this as one of my favorites, and I really like Japanese writing. Yeah. But if you are looking for something interesting, there is a copy here at the library. Yeah. I personally thought my quest or my treasure hunt book was loads of fun. I went and read a book called The Divide, Where Bigfoot Walks by Pyle. It is fun. Mm-hmm. You actually learn a lot about the geography of parts of Yellowstone and that whole area out west. And there's some areas that are really considered dark spots. Mm-hmm. And I knew that from living out there, but it was fun to read more. Hilarious. But then it was also very, very just interesting, mm-hmm. you know, where it didn't go one way or the other. I'd show it to you, but it's already checked out at the library. I donated the copy to the library, and it's already been checked out. And I hope whoever has it likes it as much as I did. So do you want to go with your numbers, or should I go ahead and talk about my...
You go ahead and talk about your Booker books.
My Booker books. She knows I'm very excited over them. I have I'm actually on my fourth one already. I'm listening to The Safe Keep. Every one that I have read off the Booker list has been very readable and absolutely fantastic. Orbital looks at 3 and 4 astronauts and how they're viewing the Earth from the space station. And you learn about their lives and their issues. Very short book, moves fast. I actually listened to this in audio. It was just a little over 5 hours. Yeah. Highly, highly recommend. But the book has a stunning cover that's hopefully going to catch someone's eye. Absolute worthy read. Headshot is actually being talked about for multiple lists this year. It is on the long list for Booker. Because of the talk surrounding it, I do expect it to hit the short list. I do not like boxing, men or women. This is about women's boxing, sorta. It is truly just the stuff that holds the characters together. Yeah. A stunning book. Again, I don't like boxing. Wonderful look at people and trauma and what causes us to do certain things in our world. Absolutely fantastic read. I literally read this in 3 days.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because it read fast. Orbital, go back into that really quick. It actually is a surprise for the Booker because Booker does not tend to do any science fiction or science-y books. Yeah. And so Orbital was a surprise. Everyone is liking it when you look at the reviewers. I think the hardest book that I've read so far off the Booker list is Held by Anne Phillips. Ann Michaels. I keep wanting to say Phillips. Ann Michaels. She wrote Fugitive Pieces that was up for awards when it came out years ago. Absolutely stunning look at memory and what is memory, what memory, how it makes you human. It is written a little more out there and a lot with symbolism, so it's not as easy or as fast to read as the other two. Absolutely stunning book. I wouldn't say it's hard. You just got to give this one a little more time. While Hummed is not on the Booker list, it's probably one of my favorites I've read this month. It is also dystopia and looking at computers and AI, and if we change a little bit of our facial recognition and what you can all of a sudden do in their world, because everything is geared to know who you are by your recognition and what happens when you become a non-person. And the issues, it's very scary. Really takes us a look at what we're already agreeing to every time you don't read all that tiny fine print that's a zillion pages long. Fantastic book. This was a pick of Andrew's. I had thought about it, but I'm going, I don't know. But Andrew recommended for purchasing, and I'm so glad I did. Highly, highly recommend it. Whether you like a kind of a futuristic thriller to dystopia, I think that would satisfy all of us. So, and I'm just continuing on my path.
Yep,
so
yep. You're ripping through them.
I am ripping through.
I am so slow at reading right now, but that's okay. So my number book is 21 Truths About Love by Matthew Dix. I'm only reading it during my lunch break, so I'm not done with it yet, but I'm gonna be done with it pretty soon. It is told through lists. He
Cool format.
He just writes lists every day, and so it's just following his life through this. He owns a bookstore that's kind of going under, and he doesn't want to tell his wife, and his wife just found out she's pregnant, so then going through that, and he has some funny ideas on how to make money back. One of them includes robbing bingo halls. So it's very funny, it's very lighthearted. We are going to be doing it for Bookstack Chat in October, or not October. Yeah, it's our next pick, so we'll be reading it for October, but you can pick it up in September. So pick up a copy. It is very fun, it's very light, super easy to read. Again, I'm just reading it in my book in lunch breaks, but yeah, I'm excited to finish this one. My quest book, I did it a different route. I was on a quest to finish a trilogy that I started last year that never finished. I started the Poppy Wars last year for TBR. I read the first 2 books for TBR last year, and then I never picked up the 3rd book. So I picked up the 3rd book for my quest, and it really ended up kind of being a quest because she travels from A to B to C to D to finish out this war. It's super like chess-like, I guess is a way to like, they're always thinking of how to one-up the other side of the war. So their enemies and everything. Super, super fascinating historical fantasy series if you haven't heard of the Poppy Wars by R.F. Kuang. I really like her writing. Janette did not care for her in Babel, but those are 2 very, very, very different books. So I recommend the Poppy Wars if you're very into war strategy and battles of religion. It's, yeah, a very complex world. I think I bogged through it this time around because I read the first 2 last year, and it took me a while to remember
Get back in the mode.
Who's who, where are we at, where did we end off, so it took me a while to get into it, but yeah, I knew as soon as I got into it, I was gonna rip through it, and I did, so.
And those are commitment-sized books.
Huge. Yeah,
they're big books, so.
But I really enjoyed the Poppy Wars, so recommend that. The other 2 books I read this month were romances. Surprise, surprise. I read the Au Pair Affair.
Au Pair.
Au Pair. Yep. French is hard. By Tessa Bailey. Very cute. Single dad needs a nanny, and they fall in love, and we love that. And he's a hockey player. I love hockey romances. The other one is Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto. She is one of my current favorite romance authors. She started out writing fan fiction and has become a traditionally published author, and I just can't get enough of her writing. This one is about 2 professional musicians, and I just ate this one up too, so that was fun. And that's really all I read this month. So, that's not bad.
You know, we all have those months either that we slow down and then we just like power through.
Yeah.
You're just loving what you read. You finally found it. A couple months ago, I was in a terrible slump.
Yep.
And just couldn't find the right book for me. And I'm finding all kinds of new books.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, these were library books, not my TBR books. But you know, the
You'll have
beauty of opening those book boxes.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yep. All right, so let's pick our number.
Okay. I am happy to say I don't have any commitment style books left.
Nope, me neither.
Yay, working into the holidays. I do not want a commitment.
Nope.
But we are going to read number 6.
Ooh.
Number 6. Oh, I am going to read The Last Russian Doll, and that is on my TBR list, one of my books of the month kind of books.
Yeah.
And I know it's historical fiction, so that's where I'm at.
And I'll be reading The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. This is a spooky romance.
Fun.
I think about
Right up your alley.
I think about ghosts, so that'll be
All
cool.
right. Our prompt. Come on, get a good one.
Oops. Read a graphic novel. I know, that's your least favorite, and I'm like, yay!
I don't hate them, and there actually is quite a few that have come out in book form that I am excited to read, that we have just gotten in. So
Yeah.
and there's actually some interesting memoirs that are also now written in graphic format.
Those are cool.
That we have in our adult. All those that are written that way are adult currently. No, I take that back. We do have some, I think, in like early chapter, maybe.
Oh, I think so too.
I think so too. So I'm not as sad about this prompt as I maybe would have been a few years ago.
Yeah. Good deal. Okay. Well, to recap, you're going to read your book number 6 and a graphic novel.
Enjoy.
Happy reading.